Hey everyone, hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shelly and today I'm going to be talking through my reading plans for October in 2023. So if you're new to my channel and you also love, like, my channel is all about books and reading and the love and celebrating the joy of books and reading. And if you also love that as well, I would encourage you to subscribe, stick around, and without any further rambling on, let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. Before we get into the meat of the video, I want to talk about a video that went up just a mere few days ago. And it was called Victober and All of My Feelings. And in that video, I had a conflict. My conflict was that my heart really wanted to go all out for Victober because Victorian literature was really calling to me. I've had a lot of luck, I suppose, not luck, I've had a lot of pleasurable reading experiences that have either been Victorian literature or Victorian adjacent. So, for example, my favorite book this year has been Middlemarch by George Eliot, and I also read Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, but it's based off of David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. And so that's what I mean. I've just had a really lovely time in my reading life with Victorian literature. And so when I sat down with that video, I was like feeling excited in my heart about the event. And then also having my brain, the logical side of my brain saying, you know, you can't participate in this fully because you're a busy woman, you're a teacher and a mother and have a lot going on. And you know that, like, sort of the social contract when I sit down with you all and I talk about, you know, what I want to read, that social contract is going to eventually feel like the only pressure that I put on myself. It's not you all, it's me. Like, I know this. Like, I've been doing this long enough that, like, we all know. So I sat down and I was like very much in my feelings. Like, I was so in my feelings and I had that conflict going on. I feel less conflicted now. I have accepted the fact that, you know, I can read Victorian literature all year and there's no way to fail Victober, but I just had like very big feelings when I was in that moment. And feelings change, you know, they're not facts. And so that video kind of has like a strange tone, in my opinion. It has, like, you know, conflicted Shelly, sort of sad Shelly a little bit. Even though what I said was true, and I still have some of those feelings, but they're less big and, like, you know, I'm not carrying them around anymore. So, Victober. So I just wanted to address that video now, the meat of the video. So what have I done about Victober? If you don't know what Victober is, I just went on and on about Victober and I didn't tell you all. Victober is a celebration of Victorian literature here on BookTube, and we read tons of Victorian literature in October. And there are hosts and prompts and challenges and all of that. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. So much fun that I was like getting anticipatory FOMO. That's exactly what it was. It was like anticipatory FOMO as I was like trying to make a TBR around Victober. But anyways, here's what I've decided for sure. I want to read Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell. Basically, everyone on this whole planet, every single person, even the child that was born 3 seconds ago, has told me that I will love Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell. I mean, no pressure or anything, Miss Gaskell, but, you know, I better love you. So I figured that if there is one Victorian book that I read this year, this is what I want. I want it to be Cranford. It's a story set in a town told in vignettes, and it's supposed to be pretty funny and light. And so everybody's like, it's a Shelley book through and through. I don't exactly know what that means, but I think y'all have proven that you know me well, so I trust you when you say Cranford is a Shelley book. Next, I think what will happen is that I want to read these short stories by George Eliot. Now, here's why. I have been having such great success with Shorty September. Not that I'm reading a ton of books, but I've been liking the energy in my reading life that short books are giving. It's like I'm sort of constantly, going through them, and I'm closing that feedback loop. I'm like, I finished a book. That's great. I finished a book. That's great. So these are 2 short stories that are about 40 pages each, and I think that they'll be really enjoyable. And we'll get to see, or at least I'll get to see, what George Eliot's writing is like in shorter form, which I think will be good for me, contextually. And if I'm still feeling some George Eliot, I might read Silas Marner. So I've heard this is very heartwarming, so I might end up reading this. And then I know that I think Audible has, I don't know exactly, but I think there are a couple of audio versions of this. So I might read it, I might listen to it, of The Warden by Anthony Trollope, which I picked up back in February, and I DNF'd for now. I did not finish for now, like I set it aside, and I wanted to cycle back around to it. So I may read this, and I might, lean on the audiobook to help kind of get me through it. So there's that. So I do have a scheduled buddy read. Let me find the book that I'm buddy reading. I'm definitely going to be buddy reading The Hours by Michael Cunningham. I have it all set up with my friend George, and we're gonna be reading this together. It's probably one of the books I've wanted to read for the longest. I don't know if that's actually true. I just feel like I've known about The Hours forever since I was a wee child, and I have not read it yet. And so we set up a buddy read to read The Hours by Michael Cunningham, which I am excited about. We're going to read it mid-October. So this month in September, we've been celebrating short books with an event called Shorty September, which is put on by Heather at, I think it's Heather at Soggy Expat Book Nerd. I might be wrong. Sorry, Heather. And Bert and Sean at Past Story Time. And so since I've been picking up shorter books, and I mentioned the thrill that they're giving me, I did want to perhaps focus on some shorter works. And so I have Written on the Body by Jeanette Winterson. I started this and I thought it was amazing, and then I put it aside and I didn't finish. And then I also have Tender as the Flesh, which might actually be good for Halloween-y vibes. And it's also not super long. It's a little over 200 pages. I also have on my Kindle Elena Knows by Claudia Pinheiro, and it's translated by, give me a minute, Frances Riddle is the translator of Elena Knows, and so that book has been on my mind. I'm always thinking about a bunch of books. The thing that I really want to read, though, that I super duper want to read because the first book went so well, is I want to read something else by Kate Atkinson. I want to read the second book in her Case Histories mystery series. I don't even remember what it's called, but I want to buy the second book on my Kindle and read that because I had such a pleasurable and enjoyable reading experience with Kate Atkinson. My goodness, this is what happens when I teach all day and then I sit down and talk with y'all. My brain is just, sometimes it's like on slow-mo, so it feels. So there's that. I've also considered reading another Helen Hamp book. I think it's called The Duchess of Bloomsbury Street. I read 84 Charing Cross Road, and I thought it was an amazing little book. And when I asked for specific recommendations for something else like it, like just as heartwarming, a lot of y'all came out and recommended Helen Hamp books. And so The Duchess of Bloomsbury Street, I think, is the title. If not, you'll probably see a picture of it. And so I might get that on my Kindle and read that. There's also this book called The Uncommon Reader. Let me find out what that's about. The Uncommon Reader is by Alan Bennett, and it runs out about 120 pages. So I'm kind of I'm in this a bit of an era in which I like heartwarming, cozy books about books, or just cozy books that have a sense of humor, and then also mysteries. Who am I? I don't know. That's what I've been gravitating towards. So these are my loosey-goosey Victober plans. Who knows? I'll probably pick up a behemoth of a thing by Thomas Hardy. Like, that's what's destined to happen now that I've made this TBR, and I'm like, I'm all about the short books, and then something is gonna come along and be like, I have to read that. Like, this month I will just happen to pick up Ducks in Newburyport. That's just the kind of reader that I am. I think I have plans, and then I just go off the rails. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me ramble about what I'm planning on reading and all of my thoughts and my feelings. And oh, y'all, I appreciate you so much. So, thank you for all of this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A million times thank you. So now that I've thanked you, I am gonna go. But I hope you will take care of yourself, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.